Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am coming at you with a tag that was tagged by the fabulous FashionablyAmy. Hi Amy, thank you again for the tag. This tag is called the My Luxury Brand Story tag. Sorry, I'm looking down because all the questions are on my iPad. So, I hope you guys enjoy, and this video will heavily be based on Chanel with like maybe a splash of Louis Vuitton. So I hope you guys enjoy. So the first question is, what is your first wish list bag? Well, my first wish list bag was the Chanel Classic Double Flap. I didn't really know what size at the time, but I knew it was definitely like the medium large because that's like the classic size. But then once I, got wiser, because I wanted this bag since I was like a teenager. So, but I got wiser and, really saw how I use bags with for myself, and I wanted a jumbo. I concluded that I wanted a jumbo. Sam, SnapeHBP, if you're watching, shout out to you. She actually persuaded me to get the jumbo with, because we got our jumbos around the same time, and so that's also a special kind of thing, because that's also about the time I started doing YouTube. But after I saw her videos and after talking to her of what her thoughts were about the classic, about her jumbo, I was sold. The jumbo was definitely a bag for me. For a moment, I was like, there was a time when I did say I wanted a medium classic flap, because price did come into consideration, because like that's like crazy amount of money. I would never spend that much money on a handbag ever again. And then but you know what, I just told myself, I might regret not getting a jumbo, because the jumbo is, to me personally, I think is Chanel's best size for the classic line. If you are a type of very casual type of person and needs a lot of stuff in her handbag, so that's that. And now I have it and I love it to death. So number 2, what is your actual first purchase? My actual first purchase was not an they categorize it as an SLG, but I say it's a handbag because I used this as a handbag for for the first month that I got it. And it's the Chanel Classic Wallet on Chain in the black, lambskin, and silver hardware. To this day, I still love this bag. There are definitely some love marks on here, like obviously some scratching and scuffs and whatnot all around this piece, but I absolutely love it. It's held up so well, and the reason why I decided to get this first instead of my like Holy Grail handbag is because I wanted to make sure that I would actually love the brand, and that I would actually like in future, the classic flap, because this is somewhat similar. It has the flap, it has the back pocket, it has a lot of compartments. It has the top zipper here, or the flap zipper here, that kind of sold me because it was really reminiscent of the classic flap. And it has so much compartments in here, and that's what Chanel is brilliantly known for, her compartments in the classic flap. So that's why I purchased this, and I really don't regret it. Oh, and also the chain also is what really, I love Chanel for its leather and chain combination here. It's just beautiful. So that's what really sold me to get this piece, and I have no regrets. I still use this, not as often because it does not fit a lot, and now that like my job is a lot more crazier nowadays, I need to carry a lot more stuff. So this here is more so on the very much lighter days. Number 3, what do you think is special about this brand? Quality, service, or history? I would say there's 3 things. one, I grew up knowing Chanel and Chanel only because of my mom. My mom is a huge Chanel lover. She loves Chanel No. 5, and Chanel No. 5 is the one fragrance I knew my whole entire life, and so I have this kind of like bonding connection with Chanel because of my mom. Or actually, no, yeah, I have a bond with my mom through Chanel as well, so they all kind of mix together, and I love that aspect because, every time I smell Chanel No. 5, I think of my mom. So, there's some really good meanings behind Chanel for me. And secondly, the history and what Chanel stood for. She was a really, really strong woman, especially for her time back in, like, I guess 1900s and early 1900s and so on and whatnot in the fashion world, because the fashion world was really like run by men. And I really loved the fact when she decided, you know what, women aren't just going to wear corsets and skirts and dresses all day. We're gonna be wearing what men love to wear as well, which is pants and free-flowing shirts and clothing, and even the hats too. Like I don't wear hats, but I can appreciate them. And there was this movie, this French movie, I forget what it's called. I believe it's called Gabrielle or Coco Before Chanel, I think. It was one of those French movies, but she designed a hat, and she was going to, like, I think like a horse derby or something, and everyone was just staring at her, and all the women were loving what she did to her hat, and it was so fresh at the time. And yeah, and then that just stuck with me because that's a really powerful movement that she did back in the day, when she stood up for women's not really rights, but like comfortness, I guess you could say, and fashion. So I really appreciate that. And then lastly is quality, because I've, like, before all this, I've had a small collection of just branded bags, and they were not really for me because it would always break. It would really, really annoy me how the handles, like especially on a tote, where the handles would stretch the leather, and so the body of the leather where it's connected to the straps are pulling, and it just kind of sags and just warps the whole like design of the bag. It just does not look good anymore. So, and also, yeah, they were breaking like every year, so I'd have to spend like $100 to $200 a year each year on a bag, and it was getting to a point where it's like, I'm done. I just want one handbag to last me a very long time. So that's why I got into this. So quality is really a big factor for me. Number 4, what is your favorite purchase from this brand? Obviously, my Chanel Jumbo Classic flap. I'm not going to be showing it to you guys in this video because it's all wrapped up, and I don't want to put it back because it's a real hassle with all the flaps and whatnot. But that's my favorite purchase from this brand, and lots of sentimental value. It just basically, it shows that, you work hard, you can definitely get what you dream for. And like, it's not a big part of my life, this bag, but it was like a small part that would kind of helped me along the way to get to where I wanted to be right now. Number 5, what is your latest purchase? So, my latest purchase from Chanel, I believe, is this little brooch here. I bought it last fall, or maybe, yeah, I think last fall. And, this basically is a gold hardware double CC with faux black pearl beads. And, this is my one and only brooch I have. I will not be, I don't know if I'll be buying another brooch because I don't really use this very often. But, yeah, this was my very, like, recent purchase from Chanel. And then, secondly, with, outside of Chanel, sorry, It's the Louis Vuitton Pochette Métis in the Infra Rouge, and I'll be doing a whole like video about this bag, like review, first impressions, whatever, what's in my bag, video of this bag. But yeah, so that's my latest bag that I purchased, and it's not a Chanel, because, you know, I'll get into that in the next few questions. What is a starter piece you'll recommend from this brand? So obviously I'm going to definitely recommend buy a small, doesn't have to be exactly this piece, but buy a small mini-sized handbag if you want, or even an SLG that is reminiscent of the classic flap line. That, or even, so I'm just going through my closet now, or even a clutch or a wallet with the classic flap if you are a fan of the classic flap. They do these in the reissue, so if you're not a fan of the CCs, they do it in the reissue. So I recommend you go smaller rather than buying the actual bag, because what if you don't like the bag? What if in turn it's not right for you? Or you figure that maybe this luxury stuff isn't for you. So I would recommend buying something small, because then you know, it didn't cost you as much as, say, like the classic flap line did. At least, like, this is a few $100s, or this is actually a couple $100 grand, or $1,000. No, sorry, $1,000. This is definitely like $2,000 to $3,000, but you know, definitely start small, because you don't want to invest so much of your money into something that in the future you will probably not like. But I basically started off with this because it's very reminiscent of the classic flap, and I wanted to see if it's worth the money. So that's what I recommend. And then number 8, what will you be buying next from this brand? So I don't know if I will be buying any more handbags from this brand. Definitely be buying more shoes and maybe some SLGs and maybe jewelry. I'm not sure about jewelry, because Chanel jewelry is, I don't know, I'll get into that in another video. It's not really the greatest quality because it's just fashion jewelry. But I probably won't be buying another bag for a long time unless I feel the urge that I am in love with this bag and I need it no matter what. But I'm pretty good with my collection. I have a pretty, I believe I have a pretty strong Chanel collection, and I would not change it, you know, change my decision for the world. I mean, if I had a gun to my head and I had to buy a Chanel bag, it would probably be the, I believe it's called the Trendy CC flap. It's basically like a top handle and has a bar, metal bar that says Chanel, and it's a flap. Almost looks, it's like a cross between of like a Hermes Kelly and a Coco handle. So it's that one maybe, but that one is basically as much as my jumbo, so I don't think I will be buying that, but you never know. But I'm pretty content with my Chanel collection. I do want to branch out more into, you know, other designers, but I'm not sure yet, and I will let you guys know. And thank you so much, Amy, for tagging me in this again. And I tag anyone who is watching to please do this. It's a really fun tag, and I hope my process of how, like, my, I guess, history of this luxury collecting was. So I hope this kind of helped you guys. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this, what your thoughts are, and I will see you guys in my next video. Have a great one, guys. Bye bye.